Good afternoon, LinkedIn members. This is Das. I am the second Das Kishore. I am the second employee of Brands Revenue. I've been talking about a topic in terms of industry and product knowledge, industry knowledge and product knowledge about the industries what our company is focusing on. Our company focuses on 5 different industries. 1 being robotic, 2 being manufacturing, 3 being healthcare tech, and 4 being EV manufacturing, and 5 being the semiconductor design to manufacturing. Okay, so these are the industries. So I'm just trying to do a video which is basically, I've been doing videos, I think I've crossed 20 now, and the reason why I'm doing this video is not to become fame or a famous person or not to earn money. This is definitely to help the sales professionals out there who are working as a business development heads or business development manager or a business development executive in the respective industries to excel in the work what they are doing, and also definitely for our future prospects who might be interested to work with us as well. So I'm not disrespecting our future prospects or our customers. I just want to tell you that the core intention is to help sales professionals, because I am a 20-year experienced professional, sales professional, who have worked in these industries for a substantial amount of time, or a decent amount of time, where I think I have the right and definitely a knowledge to talk about it. Okay. So today, yesterday we were talking about, last 2 days we were talking about manufacturing and manufacturing process and what are the challenges in manufacturing sales. And we were also talking about manufacturing assembly lines yesterday, and today we are going to talk about manufacturing educational robots. Okay. This is the most sought word and most sought business by most of the good wealth people who have a lot of wealth wants to venture in this business on building an educational robot system. Okay, so yes, we can definitely help you to build an educational robot system, or a machine, or a device, or even something larger, because people tend to keep a very attractive name with an AI in place, because most of the founders believe that if they just use the word AI, I think they think the product will sell. So I'm sure all the investors and founders who are in this industry are aware that AI word is being abused to the extent where there is a very, very minute part of learning being done, and people call it as AI. Sometimes there is no learning, no supervised learning. There is nothing, no technology or data sets or libraries being trained, or there is no supervised or reinforced learning done. The AI is not even effective, but people call it as AI. Okay, so there are a lot of people who name things little exorbitant, where they say AI, they say engine, they say machine. Okay, so first of all, to all the founders who are going to venture into the industry, please do not overname your product. Just because if the product is overnamed, you are setting a high expectations from the customer, where if you say it's an engine, you compare your engine with the internal combustion engine and then call it as engine, right? You know how engine works, right? If you look at train engine, it's diesel engine, electric engine. Are your engine in comparison with an electric train engine? It is a lot of process. I don't have time to talk about it, but just double check whether you're using the right word. And AI, are you involving data into? Are you trying to understand? Do you have a data analytics platform which talks about your robots? Performance and what it can potentially do, what are the users, what are the feature usage done by the users. If you have such things, yes, you have the right to name it as AI. Or if your robot has a vision which only detects the objection, and that's basically called objection detection, but it's a computer vision. You cannot say as a AI. Yes, you can say to an extent if that object detection or obstacle detection is identified by the robot and deflects and moves on like a AMR, autonomous mobile robot. But if it gets stuck and if it gets stayed there, then it's an automated guided vehicle where you need some scan or QR codes to continue its running. So I'm sure most of them are doing an AMR. It deflects and runs forward, but it has to make sure that you need to make sure that it is a effective computer vision where it's not on the basic level. But still, if you think that AI is going to get you more money, go ahead and name it. Engine is going to get you more money, go ahead and name it. But make sure that your product is meeting the customer's expectation, because customer might expect an engine from you, might expect an AI from you, right? Okay. So let's dive into the topic. So we are going to talk about what are the stages, how someone can create an educational robots, okay? Now imagine you are an investor who has about 100 crore or 50 crore in your hand, or let's even say 1 crore in your hand. You can still start this business, okay? All you need to do is form a small embedded team and also form some CAD engineers team who can design. So if you have a CAD engineers, if you have embedded engineers, and if you have quality engineers, and if you have a third party who can pack your product well, and you have a supply chain in place, if you have some contacts, or if you can tie up with supply chain companies, or many like Shiprocket, there are many companies, right? Supply chain companies, or you can tie up with the marketplaces like Flipkart and Amazon and still cover the supply chain as well. So my overall point to everybody here, an audience, for sales professionals and for the founders, is you can still do a business with just a 50 lakh investment and get the educational robot running. But you need to create an inventory to sell to people, to create a prototype and get some more orders. But you have to keep the customer informed that there is a waiting period. If you're saying that, if you're taking an order and saying that there is no waiting period, you better have an inventory in place, okay? Okay, so let's dive into the topic. So what is the high level stages of you making it, right? So first is basically a conceptual design and planning, okay? You can, first of all, you need to do a brainstorming with your team. You have to do a market research, which we are strong at. If you think you need help, we can help you. You need to understand that which market will kick off. So for an example, what I could tell you, what comes to my mind spontaneously is, in educational robots, if you're targeting engineering companies, let's assume one of the subject, or let's assume one of the paper what an engineering student is doing, and if that paper is towards a mechanism or any practical activity, focus on all practical implementation of engineering organization as a robot, so that their practicals can be built on a robot and they could prove that concept in their paper. So every paper has a practical, right, in engineering. So if you focus on the practical curriculum, it's as simple as that. So you can take the concept from there, you should start designing. So instead of students doing the design, you could start creating a design so that lecturers can use this and show it to the students that this is what is something practical. Now think something else, right? So you can take that concept and create it. You need to do a design, you need CAD software for it, you have to pay a good license amount for it. So CAD software designs the concept, the designing and plan. There are CAD engineers who comes at very high cost. So I suggest you are very considerate about it. If you are a CAD engineer, then it's going to cut your cost. And then you have to focus on the after the market research, you have to focus on the brainstorming. You need to sit as a team and talk like what is more sought for in engineering students. Maybe electronic engineering guys have something, and semiconductor and electrical engineering guys have something, and the 12th standard students have something. So talk about the brainstorming, where people are more interested and which is more sophisticated. You need to understand a basic. If you're doing a robot, it should be the most sophisticated thing, because it's very hard to understand by theory, and that's why we are going practical, simple. And then you go into detailed design and prototyping. The detailed designing is nothing but once you design, you need to identify what sensors has to be used. It's basically called component sourcing, where you will have to find out what sensors. Is it an ultrasonic sensors, or is it more about the proximity sensors? Is it more about the detection sensors, or things like that. So identify what components are used. Okay, you could source it from India these days, because a lot of people are already importing from different parts of the world. There are a lot of websites available, and then you can also source from directly if you are buying in large number. And then manufacturing setup. So this electrical engineering guys or maybe mechanical engineering guys would definitely specialize in assembling this unit as a manufacturing setup. Then they do a setup, and assembly process will happen, which is the fifth process, and then testing and quality. Then once it is tested, the same engineers who assembled will test it on various angles, but it's advisable you hire a quality assurance engineer from the engineering background, specifically in electrical engineering or electrical and communication engineering, or even mechanical engineering. You find very rare talents who are women in mechanical engineering, but they're very sound because they're a very strong character who chose to study with numerous boys and very less women, right? So they are strong characters. That's a tip for you. If you are hiring a mechanical engineer, go for girls, because they are strong-willed people who can make wonders to your organization. Seventh goes about packing and distribution. A lot of companies miss out here. Make sure that you are packing it properly, the body and the outer part of it, with sturdy material, so that you are giving the quality to the customers. If it just goes and bangs somewhere and breaks it, you are spoiling your brand. And distribution, don't worry, we are there for you. Okay, all you need to do is, the marketplace is getting ready. List your product in our brands revenue marketplace. We will get that selling for you, but your product has to have at least 100 Google reviews for you to empanel in us. By Jan 2025, we'll be doing a beta testing in Hyderabad for robotics. Finally, very, very important, if you don't have a manufacturing support, now once you sell it, once it is delivered to the customer, if you don't have a toll-free number, at least manned with 5 to 10 people, you're not going to succeed in this business for longer time. Maybe you will sell it for 1 or 2 years, and then you have to find another business for you to sustain, because it's all about service. Now, if you don't ensure service, which Hyderabad lacks a lot, which I said that, I'm saying, Mr. Founder, if you do a lot of customer service, comment in my video, you're out of the crowd. But apart from that, our observation from the market side is customer service is low in Hyderabad. So make sure that the customer service is good enough so that your product is being handled when there is an issue faced by the customer, and customer continue to give you a star rating in your business page in Google, right? Now, coming to the sales part, how we will sell it. We will categorize this into primary, senior, and secondary. So what we will, primary, secondary, and higher education. So basically 1 to 5, 6 to 10, and 10 to 12. So these three categories, and we will make sure that which category your robot will sit into, and we will talk to the school's management to make sure that your product is unique. We will create a value proposition for you. You don't have to worry about your value proposition. We will observe, learn your robot. Mr. Mukundan Krishnamurthy, our director with 26 of experience, traveled more than 20 countries in this specialization. He has done this in his specialization. We'll be able to solve that for you. Okay, you could reach out. He's available in our website as well. So if you want to book a time with him, please book a time. All you need to do is go to discovery call, select Mr. Mukundan Krish, and talk to him. Fix a time and talk to him. Okay, and then we will solve the value proposition, and similarly for the colleges as well. So we will solve the value proposition, and we will fix the positioning, and we will course correct you if you are overpricing, because I request you to be receptive to it, because Mr. Krish, who's basically a specialist in understanding the robot, can tell you that whether your product is overpriced or not, based on the manufacturing what you've done. So we will cover that for you and make sure that we are selling, and minimum commitment will be 1,000 numbers in 6 months. We will make sure that you're selling 1,000 robots in 6 months, but we have to understand your value proposition. We have to understand your sales cycle, your transparency in pricing. Then we can get 1,000 robots sold in 6 months time. To talk further, please make sure that you book a time, and sales professionals, you're also you could definitely get free advice, okay? Free strategies. I'm not charging for strategies. If you're already working on a product, if you think you need some guidance, please write to me. It's das.kishore@brandsrevenue.com. I will write to you personally, and I will not share the same strategy with anybody else. Okay, that's a loyalty. what we share for every customer or every prospect or every sales professional what we prefer. Thank you so much for your time. You have a great